a lot of frustration because I think from the beginning of the weekend we had a strong pace on one lap and on the long stint.
The Ferrari dream was supposed to shine in Baku. Instead, it blew up in flames. Fred Vasseur's shocking revelation exposed the brutal truth about Hamilton and Leclerc, their fragile relationship, and why the prancing horse is galloping straight into chaos. When Fred Vasseur stood in front of the cameras after the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, the paddock expected routine excuses. Blame the strategy, blame bad luck, blame anything but the team itself. Instead, Vasseur dropped the kind of bombshell that sent shockwaves through Formula One. He admitted that Ferrari had uncovered new evidence about why Hamilton and Leclerc were powerless all weekend. This wasn't soft corporate spin, it was brutal honesty. Vasseur revealed that Charles Leclerc's car had suffered from a hybrid energy recovery issue, stripping away valuable kilowatts of power on Baku's monster straight. In Formula One, every detail can mean the difference between life and death. It's the difference between making an overtake and watching rivals disappear into the distance. Fans had suspected something was off, but hearing it confirmed by Ferrari's own boss was staggering. For Hamilton, the news was equally crushing. He had topped Friday's practice, looked sharp in the corners, and carried the optimism of a man hunting redemption. But when qualifying collapsed and the race turned into a midfield nightmare, Vasseur's admission confirmed what Hamilton already felt behind the wheel. The car simply wasn't giving him the tools. Ferrari had betrayed both of its star drivers, and the truth was now out in the open. If the hybrid failure was the technical betrayal, the team orders fiasco was the political earthquake. With Leclerc ordered to let Hamilton through late in the race to chase Lando Norris, Ferrari created a fragile truce built on the promise of fairness. The deal was simple. Hamilton would give the place back. But when the checkered flag fell, Hamilton was still ahead, and Leclerc was simmering with fury. Hamilton claimed it was a misjudgment, that he misread the position of the finish line. The explanation sounded polite, but nobody in the garage was buying it. Leclerc tried to keep calm in front of the cameras, but the message was clear. The harmony inside Ferrari had cracked, and Hamilton was at the center of it. For a team already wobbling, this was gasoline on the fire. Behind the scenes, reports from Swiss media made the situation even darker. The failed swap wasn't a small error. It threatened to tear the team apart. Blick reported that Ferrari's unity was fractured, that Hamilton's refusal had left scars that might not heal. The young star of Ferrari felt robbed, while the seven-time champion insisted on his authority. What was supposed to be a partnership now looked like the start of an internal war.
The fuel is that we aborted lap 1, that it means that you are not fueling the car to do 10 laps more, for sure. And we need to push that. And the tires, honestly, it's a bit of a confusion, but I think it's a confusion for everybody.
Fred Vasseur didn't hold back. He admitted Ferrari had the pace to fight for the front. He confirmed that Hamilton was eliminated in Q2 because of the wrong tire call. He pointed to Leclerc's crash in Q3 as the moment the weekend collapsed. And he revealed the hybrid system glitch that robbed Leclerc of power on race day. This wasn't the language of a man protecting his team. Vasseur's words carried frustration, almost anger. He said Ferrari had wasted a golden chance, that they had the speed but failed to execute when it mattered. His honesty cut through the noise. It wasn't Red Bull or Mercedes who beat Ferrari. It was Ferrari beating themselves. For Hamilton, those words must have been gut-wrenching. He came to Ferrari for glory, for that elusive 8th title, and instead was being let down by strategy errors and a car that refuses to deliver. For Leclerc, the admission was another reminder that his years of patience are running out. Vasseur's truth was explosive because it confirmed that Ferrari's failures are no longer isolated, they're systemic. The Formula One media didn't waste a second. Headlines screamed about Hamilton destroying team harmony. Pundits speculated about Leclerc's patience snapping. Italian outlets painted Ferrari as a soap opera. The drama in Baku became the hottest story of the season, not because of the points lost, but because of the spectacle it created. Satire practically writes itself when Ferrari implodes. A team that once dominated Formula One like a Roman Empire now looks more like a circus in Maranello. Every weekend, fans expect either a masterstroke or a calamity, and more often than not, it's the latter. Ferrari's talent for turning opportunity into disaster has become a tragic comedy, and the media loves every second of it. Vasseur's candid honesty poured more fuel on the fire. By admitting everything, he stripped away Ferrari's usual layers of protection. Instead of hiding behind vague excuses, he exposed Ferrari's wounds for the world to see. The press latched onto it, amplifying every word, every misstep, until the Baku failure became a global spectacle. For Ferrari, the circus wasn't outside, it was inside their own garage. Ferrari's hybrid issue might sound like a minor glitch to outsiders, but in Formula One, it's a dagger to the heart. Down Baku's brutal straight, the missing kilowatts meant Leclerc could never convert cornering speed into overtakes. Lap after lap, he was trapped behind slower cars, grinding his teeth while rivals breezed past. Hamilton had his own nightmare. He wanted the medium tires in qualifying, but Ferrari insisted there wasn't time. He was sent out on the wrong rubber, doomed before he even left the garage. Knocked out in Q2, betrayed by his own team. On Sunday, despite his skill in the twisty castle section, the car refused to cooperate on the straights. He finished 8th, and his words after the race cut through the excuses. "I couldn't care less about P8. That blunt statement echoed through the paddock. This wasn't frustration, it was despair for a driver who came to Ferrari to write history. Finishing 8th felt like humiliation. The hybrid betrayal and strategic blunders weren't bad luck. They were proof that Ferrari, once again, had the tools to succeed, but lacked the precision to use them. The Tifosi had arrived in Baku dreaming of victory. They left with nothing but rage. They had watched Hamilton top practice and believed the miracle was real. They saw Leclerc's speed in the corners and thought a podium was inevitable. Instead, both cars limped home outside the top 7. The revelation about the hybrid issue turned disappointment into anger. Ferrari weren't beaten by Red Bull. They were beaten by themselves. For Hamilton, the fallout was personal. He is facing the possibility of becoming the first Ferrari driver since 2014 to go a whole season without a podium. At 40 years old, this wasn't supposed to be his farewell tour. It was supposed to be his crowning glory. Instead, his relationship with the team looked strained, his patience tested. Leclerc, meanwhile, tried to play the loyal soldier. He spoke of unity, of putting the team first, echoing Vasseur's words about discipline. But his silence after the swap fiasco spoke volumes. Behind his calm exterior, the frustration is boiling. Both drivers want to win. Both drivers know Ferrari has the potential. And both drivers now realize the team may not be able to deliver. Baku wasn't just another bad weekend. It was a warning shot. This was Hamilton's 5th failure to reach Q3 in his debut Ferrari season. It was another race where Leclerc's talent was wasted by technical gremlins. And it was another example of Ferrari losing ground in the Constructors' Championship while Mercedes and Red Bull marched forward. Vasseur's leaked truth wasn't about one weekend. It was about a culture of failure. He admitted Ferrari had the pace, but failed to bring it all together. He pointed to McLaren as a mirror. When they are strong, Ferrari can follow. But when McLaren struggles, Ferrari struggles too. That dependence is a damning sign. It means Ferrari is not yet capable of dictating the pace. They're reacting instead of leading. The bigger picture is clear. Ferrari has 2 world-class drivers, a car that flashes with promise, and a fan base desperate for glory. Yet week after week, they manage to waste it. The bombshell Vasseur dropped was simple but devastating. Ferrari has everything it needs to succeed, but it's failing to combine the pieces. Until that changes, Hamilton's dream of an 8th title and Leclerc's hope of becoming Ferrari's champion will remain just that, a dream. Ferrari's truth is out, the dream is cracking, and now the only question left is, can they survive their own chaos?